Tara Cherie here. Really good to have you here live. And I'm coming to you live from my home office here inside of my home. And I just appreciate you guys rolling with things with me today. I actually had some morning appointments with my children, and it ran me behind schedule today. And so I'm just playing a little bit of catch up here. So if I made it a point to connect with you today, I will be connecting with you. I might just be running a couple minutes behind schedule today. But I wanted to touch base with you and make this simple, short, and sweet. Today I wanted to talk with you about cravings and why when we crave certain foods, it could be something more than just wanting something because it tastes good. And I really prayed about this. For those of you that don't know, I am a recovering bulimic. I am somebody that I faced bulimia for a really long time. I've been on my health recovery now for about 7 to 8 years. And it wasn't typical, though. It was usually based around feeling really anxious about something, or it was typically after something negative had happened, and I would binge eat and then purge by means of excessive exercise. Like, I'm not talking just working out to work out and get exercise. I'm talking about really taking my thoughts and emotions and how I felt about myself at the time out negatively on the gym equipment. And I would push myself with very unhealthy, unrealistic goals, and I would achieve them, but I wasn't doing it to be fit or to get in shape. It was more of a punishment thing to myself. And so thank goodness I've been recovering from that for the last 7 to 8 years. But one thing that I had to ask myself was, why? You know, why would I start craving certain foods, and what did these things mean? And I started there because here's the thing. You can start a product, you can use anybody's product and get some sort of result. Okay, that part is definitely true. Okay, but what I'm speaking to is that it's only a Band-Aid. It doesn't fully fix or handle the situation. Okay, because you're still dealing with things that are deep down inside. You're dealing with other emotions. Like if you're somebody that you've lost weight and then you gain it back, or you're somebody that retains weight and you've done everything, you've tried products, you've changed the way that you ate, you know, you've exercised, you've done a number of things, maybe you even consulted a doctor, and you're still not losing weight, or you can't figure out if you don't eat something while you're still craving something else, or, you know, you're getting anxious because you're not allowing yourself to have food, okay? That's what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about you're eating a meal or you need to eat a meal because you haven't gotten the nutrition for the day. I'm talking you already ate and you're still feeling anxious and you want to go to food. Okay, this was very real for me for a very long time, you guys. I really struggled with addiction with food for a very long time. So I can definitely attest and adhere to that. And I can speak to that because these were things that I dealt with. I would get really anxious depending on what foods that I ate for a very long time. Okay, if I didn't eat, I would get angry. And it started to make me question. I'm like, okay, why is it that I'm losing weight, that I'm gaining it back? Why is it that every time I start a journey, a health journey, I make good progress, then I self-sabotage? Why is it that I, you know, whatever, feel anxious when I don't allow myself food and I'm not really hungry? That was the thing. I wasn't truly hungry for the food, but I found myself wanting to pillage through the food anyway. And so, you know, and then I would have periods that I would do really well, and then I would get really tempted with food again. So that started having me dig deeper into myself, asking myself these questions. Why? Why is it that I feel like I can't put the food down? Why is it that I feel like I can't tell food no? Why am I allowing food to continue to control me and hold me in bondage? Okay? Because we can eat right and we can exercise, but that doesn't mean that we're completely healthy or well, you guys. And so you need to take care of your spiritual and emotional health too. And that's kind of where I'm going with this today. And so, if you are somebody that is struggling with food, or you use food for comfort, and I'm not judging anybody because I was there. So I know what that's like. I used food either to punish myself or to comfort myself. Okay. And what it boiled down to is that I had to begin by asking, and I encourage you to do the same, is to start asking yourself why. You have to begin to identify what is it about that particular food. And I would encourage you to actually start a journal and actually start logging if you're having issues with food, like what types of food are you noticing a pattern? Is it the same types of food? Is it different types of food? Do you see a pattern in the time of day that you want to go and begin eating these things that you shouldn't? Is it, late at night? Is it, throughout your day? Is there something that you're thinking as you want to begin eating these things? Okay. I encourage you to start there. And then from there, start asking yourself why. And I want you to stop yourself before you go to the food. And I want you to start asking yourself, okay, what is it about this food that I really want? Am I really hungry for it? That's going to be your next question. And if the answer is, no, I'm not really hungry for it, but I just want it. I'm talking like you're struggling to not touch the bag at the moment or go for that next junk item. Okay. Because the foods that we eat can have a stronghold over our life, especially if we're putting them before things that trigger us. And what I mean by that is, if you're asking yourself why, and you're like, I'm not really hungry, I don't need, this isn't part of my nutrition, why am I choosing to want to eat this thing right now? And if, how are you feeling? What are your emotions like? I want you to start investigating that. And then from there, I want you to start saying, okay, I've investigated my emotions. I feel really anxious. Well, what am I anxious about? Why am I anxious? Okay. And, if you start noticing that you feel triggered, there's something behind that. And there's either some sort of trauma, some situation, and you're going to have to do some digging. And you're going to have to really look into why it is that you feel that temptation, or you feel that need, and rather than addressing the issue. Because a lot of times when we begin to crave a food, it's not because we really need it. It's because we're trying to escape a situation that makes us feel very uncomfortable and vulnerable about ourselves. Okay? Something happened to us that we need healing from. We need deliverance from. We need to get past. Okay? And there's a reason why you're, instead of, yes, I'm going to go there, and instead of running to the Lord and really praying about a situation, instead we're choosing to seek food out in order to comfort us. And if you're feeling like it's wrong that you're eating this, like you're knowingly eating something, and you feel like you're not honoring your temple with the type of food, meaning your body, you're not honoring your body with the type of food that you're eating, there's a reason for that. Okay? There's something that has a stronghold over your life that wants to take you out, whether physically or emotionally, that you need healing from. Okay? There's something in your life that has happened, that's been fragmented, that hasn't been dealt with, that either negatively affects your confidence, it negatively affects, how you view yourself and see yourself. It negatively impacts your identity. It negatively impacts the way you perceive yourself or you perceive others to see you. It negatively impacts your self-worth, your confidence, okay? How you feel overall. It can affect your, how your mood is, whether or not you're anxious or depressed or you're sad or you're down. Okay, because there's a lot of people that are like, well, I don't have problems with food. Yeah, well, when you were sad last time, why did you go through a whole bag of chips? Okay, why did you just eat that whole, pint of ice cream in one setting? Well, because I wanted to. Really? What were you thinking and what were you feeling at that time? Well, I was sad because I had a bad day at work. Well, what about that? Because usually it's a deeper issue than that. If you keep asking yourself why, you begin digging down to deeper issues beyond the surface of how your day was. Okay, you'll be surprised at, what you discover if you continue to ask yourself why and you continue to dig deeper. And it will feel really uncomfortable at first, but ask the Lord to reveal to you why it is that you're feeling these things. Because if you have any negative feelings or anything negative to say about yourself, that didn't come from the Lord. Because how he views you is spotless without blame. How he views you is beautiful. You're already made perfect in his image. Well, if you're made perfect in his image, then why do you feel like crap about yourself? Okay? So, feeling like crap, why should you continue to live that way? You shouldn't continue to live that way. If you have problems with receiving compliments then you have an image issue, okay? Especially if you're like, I feel really uncomfortable about myself, I don't like the way that I look, and, when nobody's around, I go seeking out and searching for food, and I'm eating it, thinking that I'm going to feel comfortable and more confident and it's going to comfort me, then I feel guilty that I did it. Okay? That's classic, that you need to be healed and delivered from something deeper is going on in your life, that rather than going to God, you're going to a false image, a false idol in order to seek that comfort. Why is it that you're wanting to go to the food item instead of going to God? Okay? That's what I mean about needing healing and deliverance from something. Okay? It has so much control that rather than your thoughts and how you deal and live your life, rather than focusing on the Lord with it, okay, you're choosing to deal with it by eating something, okay, or by excessively exercising, or rather than dealing with the issue, you say, mean, nasty things to yourself as you continue to put food in your body. Okay, that is a form of punishment. That needs healing and deliverance. Okay, that should not be a part of who you are. Okay, this false confidence, this false comfort did not come from God. So I really encourage you to repent right now. And there is a series of healing and deliverance that I can take you through, that I would love to do that, with you and help guide you through, just because, nothing really pisses me off more than seeing somebody that is in bondage to food and needs healing and deliverance from food. Okay, like it's really taken over their life. They think if your thoughts are totally consumed about food, and the next thing it is that you're going to eat, and it's not a vegetable or an apple. I'm like talking like you're craving sugary foods, you're craving carbs, you're craving the chips, the candy laden foods. Okay, that's a classic sign that there's something that you need to be set free from. There's a need and a void and a gap that needs to be filled with the Lord and with his love. And I'm definitely going to be praying about this, and I'm going to be praying for you. And I really feel like this is speaking to somebody. I originally wasn't going to go through this and cover this topic, but hey, I'm not judging anybody. I was once there. I know what that feels like. I know what it feels like to, feel sad or feel like you weren't heard or listened to or validated in some way. And so, you feel like crap about a situation or something in your life. So you turn to the food because you think it's going to comfort you, but instead you say nasty things to yourself and punish you. I've been there. I know what that feels like, and you're not alone in that, and there is hope. Through asking a series of questions over time, I saw the layers being revealed. And when I was made aware, when I asked the Lord to come in, and because I just told him plain and simply that I needed help, I needed to be able to overcome this area in my life, and how could he help me to be an overcomer? Because I didn't want to stay in my situation. I knew that binging on food was wrong. I knew that excessively exercising to push myself to unhealthy limits, I knew it was not right. I wasn't doing it to take care of my body that the Lord gave me. I was doing it because I was hurting and I was wounded, and I needed help making that recovery and taking those next steps. And at that time, I didn't have anybody in my life to really guide me through. So, the Lord and listening to the Holy Spirit, that was really the thing that helped me to overcome. Other than I need help, I prayed about it and told him I needed help, and then had him guide me through. Okay, I started with the emotion. Why do I feel this way? Lord, take me to a time and place. If there's something that hasn't been revealed and hasn't been healed yet, show me where I'm fragmented. Show me where I'm broken. Show me where I need that healing, so that I can move forward and not have to keep revisiting it over and over again. And so that I'm not, putting myself in situations that I know are wrong, that I know are sin, that I know I'm doing something I shouldn't be doing to my body, that I'm abusing my body. Help me to make healthier choices. Okay, so once I saw the trauma, and I asked him to take me back, and then I'd say, okay, what exactly do I need healing from? And he would tell me, this is the area that you need healing with. This is what happened. Okay, what is it that you want me to know about that situation? So taking the negative, replacing it with something positive, okay, was my next step. And then it was, okay, is that all? Or is there more? Sometimes he would take me to a deeper repressed memory, and sometimes it would be, no, that's good. Okay, now what do you want me to do with this? And I would literally give my situation, give all the negative things back over to him, okay? And then I'd say, here it is. I repent from it. It is yours. I forgive and bless and release myself, or whoever was in the situation with me at that time that maybe I needed to forgive. Or maybe I needed clarity, and then I would thank him for giving me that clarity. And then I would speak something positive, that, Lord, you have plans to prosper me. You have plans for a future for my life. And, no weapon formed against me shall prosper. Or, I like Colossians 3:15, which is what my mentor was talking about, having the Lord's peace. And so I would speak things like that over myself. I would replace the negative with a positive. And then from there, I would move forward. I would take steps forward. And then the next time I felt, led that there was something around me that wasn't right, like you'll start to sense it. You'll start feeling anxious or, restless, or, you'll start to want, that sounds good. But rather than having that food just that one time, it'll become something that you're like, oh, one little bite won't hurt. Next thing you know, you're devouring the whole thing, right? So that's what I'm talking about. Not just one isolated incident, and it starts to become a pattern again. That's how you know it's creeping back in. And then that's how you know that maybe that there's, and it may be something daily. It may be something that you have to keep exercising daily. You may have to say, okay, Lord, I need help making a wiser choice, because rather than eating the nutrition, I want to go to this bag of XYZ again, and I know it's not healthy for me. So, what is really going on? What is the emotion? Take me back to the event that led to this emotion, okay? And, what is it that you want me to know about this? Okay, now what is it that you want me to do with this? Is there anything else that I should know about that? Okay, do I need more healing in this area? Okay, show me what that looks like. Okay, and then, you keep doing that until you get to the point where you're saying, okay, if he says, we're good with this, then, okay, what is it that you want me to do with it? Now that, everything has been exposed, what is it that you want me to do with this? And a lot of times he'll just have you give it back to him, and, maybe it's, Father, I repent, or Father, I forgive myself, and here's why, and if you need help with the words, ask him for the words that he wants you to say. And then, it's, Father, I forgive, bless, and release myself. I forgive, bless, and release this person. Depression, anxiety, fear, whatever, don't have any hold on my life any longer. I give these things back to you. I give all of my emotions, all of my thoughts back over to you. I speak perfect peace over my life, your peace over my life, Colossians 3:15 over my life, or whatever scripture you want to use, right? And then from there, it's, you just keep doing this over and over again until you feel like you have peace and you feel lighter about yourself, and you're no longer in a place where you're craving those foods or making wrong food choices over your temple. You're truly honoring the Lord in the body that he gave you. And the other thing that I'll say to that is that you might be surprised. It may be trauma that you thought you had already worked through, but you've grown in your relationship with him, right? So now it's at a totally different level. Remember that healing comes in layers. So you may have to revisit situations that you thought you were past in a new layer, on a new level, on a new scale. So the idea is that you're no longer being choked up with those things that are, binding you or having a stronghold over your life. Because craving food shouldn't dictate your emotions at all. Your thoughts and your mind and where your heart is should come from the Lord. So if you're really craving things and really seeking food and other things out, that's not of God, and that really needs to be released and let go. And I'm going to be praying for you guys and whoever watches this. I know this is a really kind of deep and intimate topic. I don't expect everybody to really agree or really understand health and wellness at this type of level, but I do believe strongly in it, and I think that it's something that really does need to be emphasized more and addressed, because it shouldn't just be about eating right and exercising. Okay, your emotional and spiritual health needs to be in check too, because you could be hindering your own blessings and things, you guys, if you're not dealing with some of these issues. It can manifest in other areas of your life, whether sickness, whether finances, whether relationships. It can manifest negatively in many different ways if it's not dealt with. So I really want to, and because I didn't have somebody in my past, I really want to be a safe place that people can come to if they really feel like they're struggling in this way. I've been recovering from food addiction for a long time now, and so I really have a heart and a passion to see people set free. Nothing makes me happier than seeing people freed in so many different areas, right? And so if this is you and you're feeling like, oh my gosh, this is me, I've been feeling heavy with food addiction issues for a while now, and I really want to go deeper, and I need to know how to go about doing that, I'm really here for you. I'm going to leave my contact information in the comment section, so definitely feel free to click on that information when I leave it, and make sure that you book a slot with me so that we can have a free 45-minute consult together and see if potentially it's a match and where to go from there. If you have my personal contact information and details, you can also private message me as well, and I'd be more than happy to reach back out to you and we can talk and get to the bottom, so that you can be set free. Amen. It's been really good here being with you today. I thank you for allowing me to be a safe place, and for being a little bit vulnerable, and for me to talk about a topic that is particularly uncomfortable for many people, or maybe this is something new and you didn't realize that, oh, it could be because I'm feeling triggered. I have trauma in my past that hasn't been dealt with. I never thought about it like that. Or maybe you're hearing about this for the first time and you're kind of curious about where that might lead for you, definitely want to make sure that we can connect. So definitely reach out to me. Like I said, I'm going to leave my information in the comments section. So make sure if you're not already on my email list to get on there that way. But also be sure to fill out your application so we can have a consult together. And if you're having difficulty with that, message me and I'll make sure that you get scheduled into my calendar so that way we can connect. And if you're now just jumping on, I really want you to go back and watch the replay. It was really good. I look forward to connecting with you. Have a great rest of your day, and bye for now. And I will look forward to seeing you on Thursday between 12:50 p.m. and 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Until then, take care.